I'm Diana Falzone, and this is 4 for 4 SciTech, where we discuss 4 brain-percolating SciTech topics in only 4 minutes. An ethicist calls for a ban on sex robots. James, should there be a ban?
Sex and robots, it was inevitable that we'd be hearing about them in the same sentence. You know, we've seen this big push towards more humanoid robots. The Japanese company SoftBank has basically issued guidelines on how its robot Pepper should be handled or not handled, as the case may be. And yes, you know, an ethicist is now saying we need to address kind of how these robots are going to play out in society. This is clearly where we've got to.
I'm not here to judge anybody's personal choices in life, but I will tell you as a tech expert, the last thing we want to do is give these sex robots artificial intelligence. That is a bad idea. They are becoming more and more sophisticated, and we should all be scared, period.
Think about the positive implications of sex and robots, though. What if you are not good at being social and these kind of help you get reacclimated into society? They could have benefits.
Oh my God.
Well, the way that they're trying to peg this is not necessarily for sex. It's for, quote, companionship. But
Exactly.
This is going back to what you said, like the slippery slope of having artificial intelligence put into a robot that can simply turn against you, or you're just going to be that really creepy dude that a movie is based on, like Ryan Gosling. Everybody judged him. Facebook is in the process of creating a dislike button. Do you like or dislike this, Jen?
I like it. Plus up. Thumbs up. I think that if something happens bad in life, you may want to dislike it.
My only issue with this is that the way that it's been described, it's going to be used to express empathy. You know, like if someone's had terrible news, you'll be able to use this button to kind of express sympathy with them. I think that's good, but I also think there's scope to have an actual dislike button out there. I think there are things on Facebook that we have to say, look, this is rubbish. I don't agree with it.
I like how Zuckerberg, and I'm paraphrasing here, says that everybody wants to express empathy, and this is good because not every moment is great. That's awesome in theory. We all know how a dislike button is going to play out.
Yes.
Not everybody on the internet is a good person. Grab some popcorn, watch it play out.
It's going to play out poorly, and it's also getting to be around the holiday season, and people are saying cyber trolling, strangers saying bad things using the dislike button, but it could be your family members. And you're just sitting there at the holiday table, and the next thing you're like, oh, yeah, you just like my whole relationship status because you don't like my boyfriend or girlfriend. Or maybe, like you said before, tuna casserole. A medieval skeleton discovered in a tree suffered a violent death, according to experts. James, what does this finding really reveal?
The mystery is solved. The strange skeleton that was caught in the roots of an
sleepless
Irish
nights.
tree. It looked so crazy. But yeah, you know, the skeleton's been dated to 900 years old. The tree was planted 215 years ago. And yeah, archaeologists have discovered that this poor guy suffered a very, very violent death. You know, I believe archaeology is all about answers, and now we have an answer to this one.
Who cares how he died? Unless it's Caesar or some king or pharaoh. I just do not care that this guy got
You don't care
stabbed.
about the common man, Jen.
All lives are valuable.
I care about the guy who died last week. This guy 1,000 years ago, I'm sorry, don't have much empathy.
I think this is a crazy though, because slow clap to archaeology as a whole. I couldn't tell if the milk in my fridge was still good the other day. This guy had died in 1030 AD or 1200 AD, and they have pinpointed that he was 17 to 20 years old. That's amazing, and we're still not impressed.
And
we're not impressed.
And we can look at this person as an artifact. So even the common man has history within him and might have a wealth of knowledge to be discovered. So that's a positive spin on something that most of us care less about.
Thank you.
Sorry, James. Forget the NSA. The NFL is reportedly gathering data well beyond the gridiron. Katie, is the NFL spying on us?
Big data is obviously a big deal, and we're seeing it across the industries and now more than ever in sports. A lot of professional teams from NHL to NFL have been using data aggregation and analysis in sports, especially practice. But now 3 of the NFL teams are starting to use RFID chips that you can actually insert right into shoulder pads to track everything from distance to movement to acceleration to workload. I'm like, hey, number 85, Ed Hockley, you're going to get a robot ref soon. I'm excited. Sports and tech, let's do it.
All right.
This RFID stuff has been like really emerging over the recent years. You know, we've seen it used in other sectors, kind of it's used in retail to track pallets and things like that. But what about if kind of we get some employers who are putting RFID tags on their employees?
Right.
I mean, that's kind of like a scary prospect. So I'm a little worried about this technology too.
I think one really cool thing about it, as you mentioned earlier, is what if we start betting with it, right? Hey, I won fantasy football once, and I'm not very skilled. Imagine if I had this technology, I'd be blowing all the boys away.
But when it comes to fantasy football, this could be an excellent way of winning and crushing your competition because you're going to know everything about your player. Now you know what we think. Tell us what you think on Twitter with the hashtag 444SciTech, and we will see you there.